Okay, hello guys.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, that's better. Good, good, good. Yes. Hello, yes, that's much better. I appreciate that. Good. All right, so welcome to today's class in C programming. Hopefully you enjoy it. Whoa, it's kind of loud, isn't it? Whoa, okay, there must be a volume somewhere. I don't know where it is, but anyways. Okay, how about over here? Mic master volume. Hello. Okay. Is this okay now? All right. Okay, so today we're just going to be introducing the course, and I'll give you our schedule for today's class. I'll first of all discuss the course objectives. We'll discuss the contents of the course. We will discuss the grading, a little bit about the guidebook. We'll introduce the tutors, and we'll do a short survey about your private background knowledge before we start the course. We'll then break for 10 minutes. After that, we'll continue on and start to ask some questions. Why am I interested in UML? Why is this course we're learning UML? Why are we learning C? Obviously, both good, decent questions. We'll have to do a video permission form, because again, each year the school requires that. And we'll then discuss how to install a compiler and an editor, and how to write a first program. We'll look at a how-to video that one of the TA that Rahim made for us, and then we'll give you a chance to work through it. Hopefully by then we'll be able to get you the guidebook. We'll break for 10 minutes, and you'll have your first attempt after you tried it yourself, before the end of class, to try to go through the whole process by yourself, installing the compiler, the editor, and then writing a program and getting it to run. Okay? And that should be complete today's class. Okay, so let's continue on with our course objectives. Okay. Course basically has only 3 objectives. In this course, I hope you to learn 3 things. 1, how to clearly specify a problem to be solved. If you don't specify a problem clearly, most times it is very difficult to solve it, and it's the reason why a lot of software projects do not work, because people don't understand the problem they're trying to solve. So that's the first thing that we want to objective. The second objective is to be able to diagram the solution of a problem using Universal Modeling Language, UML, activity diagrams. In other words, once we've understand the problem we need to solve, we need to think through an algorithm or a way of solving it. And one way of doing that is Universal Modeling Language. And finally, the third goal is to be able to convert a UML activity diagram into a structured program in ANSI C language. Okay, just 3 goals for this course. Okay, so what are you expected to know? Let's look at it a different way. Okay, let's compare these 2 courses. Research communication. You need to, first of all, when you're writing something or writing a paper, you need to first decide on the topic of the paper. What are you going to write about? What is the problem your research is going to solve? Once you've decided your topic, you then need to organize your thoughts using a cluster diagram or a mind map. Once you've organized your thoughts with a cluster diagram or a mind map, and then doing linear outlining, you can then move to determine what language to write your ideas in. Should you write it in English, Chinese, Japanese, whatever language, or French? How is it best to convey these ideas? And finally, you will actually express it in English. If you were writing in an English course, you'll be writing it in English. You'll write a standard paragraphs and sentences. Similarly in computer programming, and then you will edit it. You know, your first version will not be correct, it won't work, there'll be some problems or grammar mistakes, you'll try to fix those. Similarly, in computer programming, we first need to understand the problem. We need to understand clearly what we are trying to solve and what problem we are trying to solve. Once we understand the problem, we need to organize a solution. This is where we use universal modeling language diagrams. Okay? Then we determine the optimum language to implement our solution in. Okay? It may be ANSI C. It may be Java. It may be Python. It might be JavaScript. Okay? And then finally, at least in our course, you will implement in C. We're not implementing in Python. You did that last semester. This semester we'll be implementing in C. And then finally, you will need to debug your program. Okay, that will be the final step. Just like editing an English essay, you're trying to debug it to make sure your program runs. Even myself, when I write programs, usually I spend a lot of time trying to get them to work and then making the code nice. Okay, so at the course end, these are the skills you will have. You will be able to diagram a problem, a solution in UML, and be able to implement in C language 3 types of flow. Linear flow, conditional flow, repetition. And you will know how to diagram parallel processing, which is important for AI and GPU programming, but we will not study that in this course. That will be the next course. Okay? If you want to do that second. The second thing, we will learn to compile, link, and run and debug a C program. I expect you to know, be able to declare, initialize, and use basic data types. 2 basic data types only, double and long int. We're not learning other types, just double and long int. You can and finally, to use 2 standard C functions, fscanf and fprintf. I don't want you using other functions from C library. We're just going to concentrate on only 2 functions that you can learn to use well. Now, how are we going to be delivering this course? Well, first of all, by the way, just a motivation, Steve Jobs' comment, everybody should learn to program a computer because it teaches you how to think. It helps you to learn to think logically. If you can't write a computer programming, your thinking is not logical, and illogical thinking causes much trouble. Okay, but you learn to program by doing programs. I cannot teach you how to program. That's the tutors like Alex, Raheem, and myself, we can only try to help you and guide you. Only you yourself can become a good programmer. We cannot make you a programmer. This is not something I can teach you. Because programming is both science and art together. And there are many shortcuts you can make in programming, but they won't help you in the long term. And I probably will try to avoid allowing you to pass if you are trying to do shortcuts, because we will solve a problem logically. You may be able to make a shortcut that will make a very short code that will solve the problem for that specific problem, but cannot generalize. That is not good. All right, so back to our course outline then. Problem specification. Okay, that's today's class. We'll also be talking about the tools of the trade. We'll talk about installing compiler editor, linking, running, and debugging today's class. In the next few weeks, we'll then start to talk about how we do flow in a solution using UML. We'll discuss about divide and conquer using functions. Then we'll discuss how do we structure data in C, the role of variables. We'll then talk a little bit about pointers in this course. We'll then implement in C, repetition, decisions, and linear flow. And then finally, we'll talk about more advanced data structures like arrays, records, and strings. That was basically the whole course outline, what we'll be doing in the next 16 weeks. Now, we have a website to help you, and also you'll be getting a workbook. Okay, workbook we'll be trying to get you for looking at that. So let's look at that. So the workbook contains tutorials. Basically, we'll be going through them, and the tutorials here, and we'll put stamps as you finish things. It provides some example solutions for you. It lists all the UML symbols and C functions that you need to use in the course. So, for example, I don't expect you to be doing, basically everything you need to know is on the last page for C. Everything you need to know for variable pointer diagrams is on this page. Everything you need to know for UML is on this page. So 3 pages, basically everything you need to know and be able to use in only 3 pages. So, but how to use it effectively is more challenging. So the tools are not too many. And you can use the book as a reference during tests. You bring the book in during tests, is okay. Because it provides stuff. I don't want you to memorize things. I want you to be able to use things, not memorize. Memorize is useless. Well, that's why I took physics and not biology. Okay? All right. So, it also includes some grading information way both here and in the website. And finally, you must purchase the Word book. Sorry, okay? And it is only $150. So we try to make it cheap as possible. Okay. That's the information on that. Okay. Now, how do I do well in this course? How is this course being marked? How is this course being graded? Probably you, okay? It's different from any other course you've had here at Yangtze University. All right? It's done by passing milestones. And we'll probably have Alex give a Chinese translation of this because it's very important you understand how you are being graded. Okay, so each milestone is worth 15 points. You can repeat a milestone until you are successful. In other words, you pass the milestone, you get 15 points. You don't pass the milestone, you get 0. You try again. You don't go to the next level. It's like a video game, right? You're at one level, you go through everything, you get to go to the next level. You go through everything, you get to go to the next level. And so you may only go to the next milestone up a level after you pass the previous milestone. If you complete all 6 milestones, you will receive 90 points. So last year, some students passed a milestone first try. Usually that's only 1 or 2. Most students pass on the 2nd or 3rd try. Some people took up to 8 tries to pass a milestone. So they would do the test 8 times before they were able to pass. Okay? So if you prepare well, once you pass it, you know you can do that skill. Okay. Alex, can you give a quick summary of this in Chinese? Thank you very much.
好，所以这个课程呢会分成几个阶段，那它是分6个阶段，然后每个阶段就是15分，然后呢你在每个阶段完成之前呢，你不能进入到下一个阶段，所以呢，你假如这个阶段一直没办法成功的达成，那你就要在这个阶段重复的去考试，然后你这个考试是没有限制的，那在你完成6次阶段成功之后呢，你就可以拿到90分。然后对。
Okay. All right. So that's 90 marks maximum that way. The second way for getting marks in this course is mentoring others. 10 points. Once you pass a milestone, you have the right to teach someone else how to pass that milestone. When they pass, if they pass, you get 1 additional point. So they get the 15 points for passing the milestone, you get 1 point for teaching them. You can get a maximum of 10 points by helping someone pass 10 different milestones. This would bring you up to 100 points. Okay.
好，所以这边额外10分呢，就是你可以去帮助别人完成他的一个阶段。那每一次你帮他完成之后呢，在他通过，你就可以拿到1分的额外分。所以也就是说，这边有10分，就是你要去帮助别人。
Yeah. I think you only really know how to do something if you can teach someone else how to do it. if I can't teach you how to do something, I don't know how to do it myself. Okay, so that's why we're doing that. The third way to gain marks is through the completing the workbook for bonus marks. Okay, so you get your stamps in your workbook, they will give bonus marks for that. Okay, again, back to Alex.
然后还有第三个就是获取分数的方式，就是在你的书里面，就是每完成一些内容的时候呢，我们就会给你一个章，然后就透过那个东西拿到额外的分数。
Okay. Are there any questions about the grading? Is there any questions about this? Guys over here, any questions way over on this side? Okay. Okay. All right. So maybe I'll ask some questions. Okay. My FAQ. Okay. Am I graded for class attendance? The answer is basically no. If you pass all the milestones. Like, if you pass all the milestones, you don't really have to, I don't care whether you've attended any classes, right? If you are, for example, myself, in my first year mathematics course at university, I think I got close to 100%, I never attended class. Okay? And I had some other friends who never attended class either. So, if you can skip, if you find the stuff easy, okay. Am I deducted marks for being late? And the no, if you pass all the milestones. Okay. Am I deducted marks for leaving early? No, if you pass all the milestones. Can I try a milestone infinite times? And the answer is no, but yeah, there are a limited number of times you can write milestones. In other words, it'll be the end of the course. So if you don't pass the first milestone, you can be trying it every week for 16 weeks before you go on to milestone 2. But the course will expire before you finish. Okay? If you need 12 tries to pass milestone 1, it's not likely. You will not have time to do later milestones. Okay. If I pass all milestones in 8 weeks, do I need to attend the rest of the course? No, you don't. But I hope you will come and help other students. It would be nice if you pass everything fast. Okay. It will also improve your C language as you teach other people, right? Okay, let's look at the tutors now. Would like to talk, are they at your service? Okay, let's first of all introduce our first tutor. Our first tutor will be our English. You can ask him any questions you want in English. So he will be very obliged. His name is Rahim. He is from India. Our second tutor is this handsome fellow Alex. You may ask any questions you like from him in Chinese or in English if you like. But if you want to use English, please bother Rahim, since there's more Taiwanese here, so that he can spend his time explaining things in Chinese. Okay, can you please introduce yourself and why you're tutoring and what you're doing?
So, as Professor said, my name is Rahim, and I like C programming a lot, and I've been doing the TH of, I've done it last semester as well. So I like doing this. I like helping in C programming. So I hope in this semester I can help you all.
Alex, I'm grade 3rd, and this is my first time being teach assistant. So hope everyone can give me a friendly. Don't ask me for. Don't think I'm too bad or something. Yeah. And I will try to give you the best help. Yeah, thank you.
And also in Chinese, please also.
And also in Chinese, 我是施俊凯，然后大家如果有问题的话，欢迎就是告诉我们。对，谢谢。
So yeah, so 他们什么时候可以教你？他们可以在课外教你 ，Alex。
Yeah, sure.
So 如果是你是so 如果你是男生，白天课外都可以教他。如果你是女生，24个小时可以教他。没问题。Okay, all right. He's very kind, very kind, very kind. Okay, all right. So before we get started, though, I would like to know a little bit about your background. Your Beijing and programming. So we have a small survey that we'd like you to fill out for us, if that's okay. Okay, all right. So please use this and just quickly go through it and fill out the survey. I hope the
Can we do it in the next time?
probably better now, yeah. Before tea time, yeah.
This is
Okay. If you have any questions during the survey, you may ask any of us. So if you did not take the Python course last semester, just click E, okay? All right, E, you did not take the course, okay? Okay. Okay. So there are two reasons why we're doing this survey. First of all is so we can know your background, and secondly, this is part of Rahim's master's degree thesis, okay? It's on teaching computer science, okay? So that's part of his thesis. So he's from, Rahim is from computer science department, not from our department, by the way. So, okay. Yeah, you can. Okay. Finish.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm just telling you.
Good. Okay, great. Okay. Okay, great.
Today we were at it.
Okay,
How we go after a class.
that's
So we
okay.
got
There
some
we go.
photos.
Yeah.
It is more famous reply papers.
Okay.
So I will actually check the one you want.
Okay. All right. Okay. Don't worry. Okay. You guys are all finished survey now? Finished survey? Okay. All right, great. Okay. Well, okay. Our first key section is now finished for today's class, so we'll now short 10-minute break, okay? 10-minute break. Okay, can we come back? Hi guys. Hello. Constantine. Thank you. Okay, all right. Let's continue on. Let's go look at the website now. I want to take a bit of time for the website. So this is our website that we will be using, and we'll be using two specific parts of this website. Okay. You can come. So it's, if you want to get it, it's www.sdba.info. Okay. www.sdba.info is the name. WWSD, structuring data building algorithms. Okay, so that will link to you, and you will initially get this page asking you where you want to go, and there are two places you will probably want to go. Okay, basically P1, P2, or P3. Okay? The other part, this is for another course. So the rest of the stuff is for a different course, okay? This is a second course. Alright, so this one is the stuff for the, but these three are what I'm working on for this course, okay? So first of all, P2 will talk to you about how to install compiler, editor, and debugging. Just go and then click go. Click go. Our website, it seems like the internet is very, very slow. Okay. Not sure why I've got such poor connection. The other place you will want to go is this one, Basics of C Programming. Okay, I guess we don't have much. Okay, there. Oh, sorry, it did connect after giving me a warning message. So here we have installing the compiler and the editor. Compiling, linking, running, and debugging, and some other tools that you can use for doing UML diagrams and VP diagrams, a PowerPoint slide that you can use to help you do those diagrams. All right, which we'll be using in this class, okay? The other area on the website is Basics of C Programming, and this is where you will find a lot of links, like today's lecture slides would be here. Okay, and each week's lecture slides, second, third, fourth, fifth, etc. through the course. We'll be updating these as we go. You will also be able to see milestones. Oh, our connection is so slow. Okay, so here's again the milestones, and this time I've labeled them. So we're starting right here. The first milestone will be tools. And once you finish that, you will have 15 out of 100 on the course. The second milestone will be UML. Once you pass that, you will have 30 points. The next milestone will be Basic C Programming, which will get you up to 45 points. The following milestone will be VP Diagrams. Analyzing code gets you up to 60 points. And that's basically pass level. Fifth milestone is flow. And the last milestone is using struct commands. And finally, there's the 10 points for mentoring, which would get you to 100%. Okay, plus there's some bonus points somewhere in there, but I don't put them on this. So you are slowly progressing around this wheel, and hopefully you'll get back to the beginning. Okay, and there'll be details about the milestones here, different leaks, sample milestone for each one. That you can look at. It will give you a sample what the milestone would look like. Not the actual milestone, but an example of what the milestone would look like. Okay, so each of them you can go through and get an idea. And if you want to know how you're progressing, this will be your marks to date. Will be stuck here. I do hope this is going to be faster. Okay, so for example, this is last year's, so you will see your student number, your Taiwan Chinese name, your English name, and the milestones. It will turn black when you passed a milestone, and this is how many times it took you to try to pass the milestone. It doesn't matter how many times you take. So for example, Minnie, she passed her first milestone on the first try. She took 5 tries to pass the second milestone. She took 4 tries to pass the third milestone, 2 for number 4, and 3 for number 5. Or if we look down here let's go down to somebody else. Let's go, okay. Roger, first 1 time for milestone 1, 3 times for the second milestone, 2 times for the third, 2 times for the fourth, 3 times for the 5th, 1 time for the 6th, plus 2 bonus marks. So he ends up with 92 points. You look at Javet, you can see other people. Jimmy, okay. So he passed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 6 milestones and got 1 part for helping somebody else. Johnny, he passed milestone for 1 try, 2 tries, 2 tries, 2 tries, 1 try, 2 try, 5 tries. 2 tries for this one, 5 bonus points for helping others, and 2 bonus points for other stuff. Okay, so this basically provides all his marks. Okay, and where's this guy? So there'll be how you'll be able to check how you're progressing. Okay, I think that hopefully will be clear. Okay, let's go back to our class again. Okay, our fact. Okay, let's now start our talking. Why UML? Why are we learning Universal Modeling Language? Which is a pretty good question, I think. Firstly, it's a standard format. Okay, it's a standard format for specifying a solution or outlining a computer program. Actually, for a lot of different fields, UML can be used. We're using UML activity diagrams, but you can also use other types of UML for doing object-oriented programming, for chemical process flow, and most things can be done under the UML diagram setup. Okay, so it's a standard way of specifying a solution graphically. And by using UML, you'll be able to aid your thinking in how to efficiently solve a problem. Because you're concentrating on how to solve the problem and the steps you need to take, not how to write C program or how to write Python program. You are concentrating on how to efficiently solve a problem. It allows you to separate macro concerns, that's your algorithm in the UML, and the micro concerns, how you implement it, that's C coding. Okay? It's just like we're doing cluster diagrams, and then we're going to do writing paragraphs in research communication. Here we're doing UML diagrams, do the algorithm, and then our micro concerns are just how do we implement it. This allows you to check for logic errors before you start to code, because logic errors, once you have code, is very hard to find. So if you get rid of all your logic errors before you code, you'll speed up the process a lot. Finally, there are AI tools to generate C code from UML. So you just enter the UML and then tell what language you want your code, Python, C, JavaScript, and it will produce the code for you from the UML diagram. Okay? It may not be the best code, but those tools will continually improve so that you'll be able to, if you know UML, you are going to be able to specify a lot of coding and do things much faster. Okay? And change languages easily. Okay? And, alright, now I've told you why we're going to learn UML. Next question is, and this one is people ask a lot, why C? Why do I want to learn C? A lot of people think, oh, Python is great. Why am I learning C? Okay, first of all, C is old. Okay, but not obsolete. C is from 1972. Okay? So, what language came before C? What language is C based on? Come on. What language came before C? What language came before C? Take a guess. What language came before C? B. Very good. That's correct. Yes. B was the language before C. But nobody programs in B anymore. Okay? And before B was A. In fact, actually it was ADA. ADA. Was the first earlier language before that. So we have ADA, we have B, we have C. C is still here. It's not obsolete. Look, C is, how old is it? 52 years old, right? 52 years old. So it's quite an old language. I'll give a little bit more volume here. But it's not obsolete. First of all, it's used for, look, you can see here, this is in May 2020. C surpasses Java and becomes the #1 programming language. Okay? So that was in the TIO index in 2020. This one is another graph of popular programming languages. In this graph, they say JavaScript is #1, Python #2, Java 3, C is #4. Okay, so C is not a dead language. It is used a lot. It's used for device control and for drivers. So if you're doing any basic language program, you're not going to be using Python, you're going to be using C for device control and drivers. It's used for, is this on or off? I forget this one, let's use the other one. Okay. It's also used, okay. It's also used for IoT. If you are programming Expressive, Arduino, basically it's used for IoT devices. It is used when speed is most important. Okay? If you want a program to run fast, you are probably going to want to do it in C. You're not going to want to use another language. It is the most common language used for running operating systems. For example, if you use Linux, your operating system will be written in C. If you are using an Apple computer, which uses a Linux-based system, C is the language your operating system is being written in. And as you can see, it's almost 60 years old, so it stood the test of time. Over time, C has been there. Fortran was better for a while. C# was better for a while. C++ went over for a while. Java went over for a while. And now Python is over. How long? I don't know. It may come down again too. But C is always there, like #2. Okay? And other things, other languages like C++, Visual C, Java, CUDA are all based on C. Okay? Why C? Why NCC? Okay? Now, because your program will compile with any C compiler, it will run on any operating system. So you can write a program that will run on Windows machine, Arduino machine, Linux machine, Apple, small chips, large chips. C will run everywhere. It can be used on any microprocessor, ARM, Intel, Arduino, Express. C can be used anywhere. C can be used for, okay. Why ANSI C? Okay. Here's a few other things. It will be fast. A C program runs 90 times as faster than Python. Okay? 90 times. So that is, and also it uses 90 times less energy than Python to complete a task. Energy consumption. C is very energy efficient. Right now, one of the key limits for AI is energy consumption. Just like Bitcoin, it takes a lot of energy, a lot of electrical energy. C can do the same thing with 100 times less energy. So, if the limit for AI is going to be energy consumption, C is going to be a way to be able to go past that. Alright. So I hope I convinced you now that C is important and UML is important. Okay, let's continue. Let's look at some language differences. Here's the code I want to show you. On the left side is ANSI C. On the right side is JavaScript. Okay, JavaScript is a new language. C is an old language. Let's look at the lines. Okay. First line, star slash star, star slash, means comment line. It's for the user. It's for the person who's reading the program. The computer ignores it. Next line, beginning of the function. This is a function that can return an absolute value. So type double. In other words, a double. It is going to return the absolute value of double A. If A is less than 0, return minus A. Otherwise, just return A. So it's doing an absolute value. In JavaScript, instead of writing double, we write function absolute A. If A brackets A less than 0 brackets, return minus A, else return A. Curly brackets at both ends. There isn't very much difference, is there? There's very little difference between the two codes. Okay, let's look at another one. Here's C versus Python. Okay, there's my... Okay, Python uses this hash to make a comment line. Unlike the slash. Okay, double absolute. Here's def absolute A. Double A. If A is less than 0, A less than 0, no brackets in Python. Colon, return minus A, else, colon, return A. Okay? C, each line is ending with a semicolon. Python does not. Code structure, very similar. Let's look at another example. Here's another JavaScript versus C using if and else statements. Okay? This is to check a value. Okay, the name of the function, integer A and B, I'm giving it two values, A and B. If A equals 1, then if B equals 2, print something. B equals 2, console.log, print this stuff. Okay, else, print f, console.log. So you can see the printing is slightly different function. Here it says where you want to print it, the console. Here we say we're going to print it to standard out. Okay, there's JavaScript. Okay, Python. Check value, A, B, if A equals 1, B equals 1, F print, else, print A is not equal to 1. Okay? You can see how similar everything is, right? But I think C is more nicer because I can put everything on one line. here your spaces are important. If you don't space things correctly in Python, your program will give you errors. Okay, finally, we're going to be learning the GCC compiler and Notepad++. So, in Python, we use an integrated development environment. We will not be doing that. We will be using two open source software, two pieces of open source software that you can actually look at the code if you want for. So, the GCC compiler and Notepad. First of all, mainly because they're free open source. We can download them. Notepad, I like because you can use it for any language. C, Fortran, any other language you want to use it for, you can use Notepad to write a program. The GCC compiler, it compiles C programs, Fortran programs, C++ programs, and other types of programs as well. So they're both things that can be used for many different purposes. Okay, we're now going to watch a video to see the compiler installation, and you're going to be able to look at it again. This is done by our Rahim. We'll first of all go to the video, you'll be able to look at it, and then you'll be able to try later. Okay, so first we'll look at the video, assuming we get good internet connection. Okay. So I'll be installing compiler and editor. Install here, and you can see this is the page you'll be able to go through, which will guide you as you go through the installation of the text editor and there. But let's follow through it with from YouTube with.
Hi everyone, I'm Ravi, and we will be going through step by step what we need to do for writing. The quality is very bad right now. The quality is very bad right now. The quality of it is better.
Yeah.
Yeah, now the quality is good, but the volume is very less.
I'm trying to figure. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to figure out how I get the volume better. Just sec. Sorry. Okay, volume. Here we are. Okay.
So let's go through it step by step. So we need to go to Chrome. In Chrome, we have to write HTML install. So by accessing this website, we get a step-by-step reference of what we need to do. So we go to the point of P2 that says installing compiler and editor and debug. Okay. And then going on to this part, which says install WinGW, Notepad++ on the Windows computer. Now, you can read all of this for your help, but just to make things short, we need to do two things. We need to have first a text editor, and the second thing that we need is to have a compiler and linker. So let's go ahead with a text editor. Why do we need a text editor? Now, you might think that a text editor would be Microsoft Word, but it's not a text editor because it has some formatting that is associated with it. So the other text editor that we have is Notepad, that is already there in all the systems that we use, the Windows system. But as you can see, part looks like this, and we can write anything that we want, Chinese, English, yes. And it looks like this. It has no formatting options, like you cannot make it bold, you cannot make it italic, you cannot change the color, it just looks like how text is supposed to look like. But we have a better suggestion that we should use a text editor called Notepad++. So let's go and install this. So by clicking on that link, we can go over here and click on current version. Go download. After clicking this button, it has started downloading now. Okay, so after it has been downloaded, let's click on this. Click OK. Next, I agree, next, and stop. That's how simple it is to download Notepad++. And then we run it. You will come back to this after some time. So now our next step is to scroll down and install the compiler for the linker. Now, why do you need this? You need this because whenever you write your program in your C program, you need a compiler so that it can translate whatever you have written into a binary machine code that the computer can understand. Okay, so the steps following this is pretty easy. Go down here and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 steps. Okay, so first step, we go over here. We go to the GW homepage and click download. Okay, click on this, install, continue. Okay, so something that you need to take care of over here is you go to this basic setup. So in basic setup, you go and just click this GW base. When you click it, you just choose Mark for installation and go to installation and then apply changes. Apply. Now, go to step number 6. After this is done, okay, this is done. Now we can close it. So now we need to, looking at point number 6, we go to the C drive and inside C drive we find a folder called MinGW. Now we are told to change this MinGW folder name to SDPA. Let us not do that right now so that we can see why this is important. Let's go to the next step. So in step number 7, we download those course specific files. So we click over here. The course specific files gets downloaded. Okay. Now this is a zip file. In order to access this, you either need to unzip it. The easiest way to go through it is just copy all of this. You don't need the software, you copy this, you go to your C drive, you go into this folder, and you paste it. Now, I know that you should have changed the name to SDPA before, but the reason I'm telling you this before afterwards is because you see the fancy C, it has an icon right now. But we go back and we change it to SDPA. Now we go inside. Now you will see that this fancy C has an icon. And since it has an icon, now you can open it. Now it would say, okay, it's trying to protect the PC, but this is totally fine, so you go and run it anyway. And this is what it looks like. Now you can start running your programs. Unzipping it, you can download it 7-zip, but that's not really necessary. So now that we're done with our installation part, let us start by coding our first program in C. Let us do what every programmer does when they start their journey. Hash into standard output main void. Oh, by the way, I always suggest that when you start coding, go to language, press this, C. What this does is that you can see the colors has changed. What we're doing is we're telling Notepad++ that we are coding in C language. This then highlights the keywords, and this way the code is easier to recognize. So let us print. Hello world. So we're making use of fprintf. With fprintf, we need to suggest where we are printing it out. Here it is standard out. Standard out for Windows means the monitor. We're using it for that because it's very flexible. We can use it to send it to a printer. We can send this to a file. In this case, we're sending it to a monitor. And then finally, return 0. Now that we've done coding, we need to save this file. So it's very important that we save it into the folder SDBA that we have made recently. So SDBA, and over here, let's call it hello.c. Oh, by the way, the reason why we're using it Notepad++ is, let's say we copy this and paste it into Notepad. You can see the code looks bland, it's just simple text. But with Notepad++, we can see the keywords. When we have these curly brackets and press enter, we get automatic indentations. So we have a lot of perks when we're using Notepad++ for coding. Okay, so now that we have saved it, let's go to the folder and open ANSI. Okay, allow it. Now, this is where we compile, link, and run. This is what we need to do for our program. So for compiling, we type gcc -c -wall. What -wall does is that it gives us any kind of error that we have in our code. So it helps us to find errors easily. -wall and the name of the program. So that is hello.c. Next, for linking, gcc -o. And over here, we need to mention the name of the executable file, which can be anything. So which can be hello.exe, or which can be m.exe, or even your name. So let's just go for hello.exe. Finally, hello.o, which is the object file. Finally, in order to run or execute file, we write the name of the executable file, hello.exe. We can also simply write hello, which does the task. So this is it.
Okay. Hopefully that is helpful.
Hi
Okay.
everyone,
Oh,
I'm
stop.
Lee.
Stop. Okay, yeah, we got that, okay. So, all right, so now that, we're going to we would like, okay, so so we will now spend time with the TAs where we trying to help you to make sure that you can also you want to install Notepad++, you want to install on your machine the compiler and editor. Again, this can be a link, www.sdba.info is where it is. You're going to install it on the machine. You're going to write a simple program like Hello World. You can use the website page or Rahim's video as a reference. You're going to work through that. Okay, that's what we're going to do until the end of for this hour. Once we finish that, you can take a break. Before we go home then, we will do it as a milestone. In other words, without help, being able to do the installation on a clean machine by yourself without help. That is the first milestone. Okay? So, all right, so right now it's hands-on. We'll be trying to help you with any questions you have. The three of us will be wandering around, and I'll try to free up this thing so you can actually use your computers now. Okay.
No screen here, is there?
All right, guys. Okay. Let's continue on for our next. Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. Good. So we're finished our tea time. Let's take a quick look at the workbook you just got. I want to highlight a few things that you should probably want to know. Okay. Let's look at the back cover first of all. Back cover. Okay. So here we'll basically have the key things at the very bottom. You can see how do you compile a program. You pick gcc -c -wall -g my.c. How do you link a program? gcc -o, the name of your program, and how you run the program. Just typing my.exe. Okay, and if you're, we also have downloaded a program to help you debug your program. We won't use that right now, but it will be helpful later to understand how it works. That's on the other side, right beside it. Okay, within your book, it's divided into a few sections. The first section provides some teaching notes, which will be helpful for you as we go along. For today's class, what might be interesting would be the basis on the teaching notes number 1. Talks a little bit about the course, grading, milestone, tools. In a couple of weeks, we'll be doing UML diagrams. So before the UML diagram class, we'll be asking you to read chapter 2. Okay? In the first section. There's also a basic example going all the way through from when you first have the problem, how you go through a solution, and how we do each steps. We'll slowly be working through this example over time. And it gives you a final code. Chapter 4 tells you the basics of flow in C, which will be about the midterm. We'll be looking at that chapter. And then example of pointers and VP diagrams will be later. And then that's the first section. The second section talks about our different problems that we'll be solving and the worksheets that we'll be using in this course. I hope. So that should give you a basic idea. And as we go through, please make yourself familiar with the workbook. Okay? Next. Okay. We are now, if there's no questions, we're going to try our first try for the milestone. You will be able to do this independently now. So what we'd like you to do is we try the milestone, and you'll get either Alex or Raheem, when he sees you have finished, will be able to sign it, and you'll be able to go, before that we forgot one thing. We need to have you sign some forms. Okay? For the school, this first form is permission for video camera to be used in the classroom. They want us, and the second one is permission that will be using, this will be being used for part of Raheem's thesis, so just a permission form that what we are going to be doing there for that you understand that we're doing what we're doing. So we need to get you to sign these 2 forms, okay? I give Raheem and Alex to pass them out, so we need to get those 2 forms signed. Sorry about that, these are the, yeah. Okay, please read over them so you understand what you are signing. I don't think it's anything controversial. Okay.
collect, yeah, that's good. Okay.
Oh, international students don't have to. Open here.
Okay. Yeah, if you have any questions, please ask me or Rahim or Alex.
Let me verify this again. It's just supposed to be your name. If undersigned means your name. Your full name. Full name. Give the full name.
forms yet? You collected all the forms yet? Two more yet? Okay, good. All right. Okay. Is any, okay, everybody's over there except for two people, okay? And you guys are, okay, give it to Raheem, good. Give it to Raheem, thank you. It's his project, so. First one is why I do that for keyboard classes. Okay. 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 Missing any? Okay. Okay, Raheem, is everybody collected okay? Okay. All right, okay, what we're going to do first is the first milestone, try one. Okay, so first of all, please sit alternate computer. Don't have a person sitting beside you. Okay, so every second person will move to a different spot. I'll try to put some papers out for the milestone. You will need to turn off your computer. Then you will reboot using Windows WSAS. You will then install Notepad, the compiler and linker. You will compile and link welcome.c. You will show it to the TA. We will stamp that you have done milestone number 1, and then you may go home. Okay?